Well, good morning, beloveds. Long time no see. And yet, it just seemed like 5 minutes ago. As was mentioned earlier, this month we focused on a very big word. Abundance. Abundance. I like that word. You like that word?
Yes.
Well, let's say it together.
Abundance.
So why do I say it's a big word? Because for me it implies many ideas, such as more, ample, plentiful, profuse. Love that word, profuse. Luxuriant, lush, exuberant. Ever notice how the advertising firms use abundant language and images to sell their products? Ever notice? A cruise line will use smiling, happy people, most of them about 14. They're having fun in these tropical surroundings and exotic locations, and they're having these fine meals and all this, and they're beautifully dressed in perfect teeth. All this stuff, all this abundant idea. Well, for me it captures my attention. Must yours too, because you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it, you know. What it does is it plants the idea that says, hey, I'd like to experience that. I want some of that. That feels good to me. And so what is it about those types of images and ideas that stirs up what I call my inner funhouse? What is that gets us going? This morning I got to see the little kids come in, and they run in like quail. They're just under, and it's just so much fun. And my fun house is jumping. You know, those little things are going up and down, up and down, up and down. And there's kids do that for me. They get me going. Must be my inner kid wanting to get out and play. But for me, I'm of the belief that we are stirred by an inner recognition, a spiritual agitation, if you will, of that which is already known as ours. It is that to which we are drawn, as though to be without it, we would not be complete. We would not be complete. Well, this completeness feeling is a term we use in the science of mind. It's called the mental equivalent. Now, there is a mental equivalent of the idea of completeness, of our feeling oneness with who we are, which is our spiritual reality, which is a higher level of who we really are, that completeness. So it is at once both exhilarating for me and peaceful. So you get the rush, and you get the, oh, that's right. And then the excitement comes in the recognition, and then the peace comes in there. Aha. That feels good. I know that for me. I know that feeling. The founder of the science of mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes, defines mental equivalent thusly: having a subjective idea of the desired experience. So what does it mean, having a subjective idea? What do those fancy words mean? Well, subjective ideas are those beneath the threshold of our consciousness. It's our inner side, if you will. And so mental equivalents are those ideas that are subconscious, below the surface of our conscious knowing. I liken that to an iceberg out in the ocean. You know, see, we have what we know is and what we experience is up here, and then there's so much more beneath the surface of our consciousness that helps move and determine what shows up. So here we are with a lifetime of subjective ideas this morning, all of us, helping to create the life that we have. And the only way that they can do that is through us. It's through us. The ideas come from within us, not outside of us by some bonk on the head, you know, I don't believe the bonk on the head thing. You know, I don't. I just have never felt complete or comfortable or peaceful with the idea of somebody, something outside of myself saying, this is your destiny. This is your life. It's all written in stone. Some people like that. It's okay. But Science of Mind, we teach personal responsibility through our beliefs, through our choices, and being more conscious in making those choices. So the mental equivalents are those ideas that are subconscious. Most of them we aren't really conscious of until they show up in some form. And you go, oh my God, where did that come from? Well, they come from how we've set it up in our lives. People do the same relationships over and over again. I don't care if they're personal or business or whatever it is, until they knock themselves in the head and wake up and say, this is not working for me anymore. And then in that idea, in that shift in consciousness, the life has a chance to change through different choices. I don't know about you, but I have these mental equivalent experiences continuously. Have you ever met someone and said to yourself, oh, I feel like I know you? It's a comfortable recognition of something. We resonate with a person because within that person or that experience, there is something that we know as familiar. And we may never have met them, but it could be a personality trait, or it could be something they're going to share with us and teach us, or we them. And so I tend to trust that with people. I'll move toward them, or I'll move away from them, depending on what I'm feeling, without judgment. Most of the time. Most of the time. I have a person I know, speaking of what that person can accept, that will spend $500 a night to have her own room at a lovely hotel. But she won't pay $40 for a once-in-a-lifetime meal. Go figure. Okay. Her mental equivalent is different in different categories of life. So can you see how it works? Some of us just can't go there, wherever there is. We can't buy that thing because it costs too much money for us. Others, it's not a problem. And even people with the availability in life of whatever it is, we're still always at choice. It's our mental equivalent. It's how we perceive our life. So, for me, it is done without judgment, like I said. To bring us to a point of awareness, to bring us to our own personal mental equivalent, is something to understand. What I believe about each one of us as far as the equivalency factor goes is that it is our inner knower. It is our subconscious storehouse that recognizes that. It motivates or repels, says yes or no to whatever is to be as our next step. And that next step is our next step of awareness. What do we need to do this? Nothing. Nothing. We are called to reach higher in consciousness. In the awareness of who we are and of what's possible. And also to turn within. I think to reach higher, we must turn within to that deeper place for the clues and the ideas to who we are and of what we believe we are worthy. We can accomplish this through our deeper understanding of who we are. I believe life is a call for greater understanding. Our life is a call for understanding who we are. And the more we know that we are this spiritual magnificence waiting to be revealed. Do you believe that? Where'd that come from? Oh. There is a spiritual magnificence within each of us that is just like a little kid's bursting to get out. And it's not anything scary or braggadocious. It's just being who we are. It's being authentic. And the more we know this, the more we know the oneness of our life, of all of life, and the more assured and proactive we become in our daily journeys. Ernest Holmes says in The Science of Mind, and I quote, "We are living in an intelligent universe which responds to our mental states. And to the extent that